So in a way, therefore, you're saying you sense signs of leadership, signs of having taken on those challenges, may have made a few mistakes at times, particularly in the early years, early months, let's say, of COVID, but recovered and learned from mistakes. Okay, that's one middle ground in a way. I come back to you, Swapan Dasgupta. While you point out you believe that the Modi model has in a way redefined the way government and governance is done, is there something that you would accept from what Yogendra Yadav points out, a weakness in the system, the cronyism that is accused, that the Modi government is accused of, favoring particular individuals, the manner in which decisions that some would say are bold and risk-taking, others would say are disruptive and cause chaos in the system, demonetization an example? Would you say there are areas that need to be looked at if we look ahead?
Well, I think a couple of things. Firstly, I agree with Yogendra Yadav that when he said this is an entire system of political economy. I think there's no getting away from the fact that the management of the economy, the management of welfare is inextricably linked with the larger political calculations of this thing. And if you say that Modi has deliberately targeted a few issues rather than take everything, I think that's also a fair point. But I think if you take on the challenges of housing for all, if you take on the challenges of drinking water for all, I think it's, these are formidable issues. And if you can manage, and you've already managed to get electricity for all. So I think regardless of the fact that only a few issues are linked, these issues are considerable in their scope. And I think they make a qualitative difference to the lives of ordinary individuals.
Do you agree, for example, if I may just interject, when you say electricity for all, let's be clear, the Manmohan Singh years were the years when electrification picked up.
The point is that the last mile...
No, I'm saying, is it a continuum of, there seems to be a tendency to discount what happened before 2014.
I'm very glad that you feel that Manmohan Singh should also get the credit. I think not only Manmohan Singh, but I think right from Jawaharlal Nehru, everybody who started giving the process of electricity should also take the credit. And I think I'm not sort of taking it away. But to think of that as a particular target, to make sure that the task is completed in every way, is, I think, a political decision which was taken by the Narendra Modi government, and it was completed. So I'm not taking away any of the credit of Manmohan Singh, I'm not taking away credit of Deve Gowda or Inder Gujral or anyone, Rajiv Gandhi or Indira Gandhi. All that is there. Now there comes the question, which I think has been made a thing about the accrual of wealth of two industrial groups. Now, I think you can say that, is it the job of the state to be the agency of equitable redistribution, as it was under the bad old days of socialism? Now, I think, you can point out that why has Ambani and Adani succeeded disproportionately over, say, the Tatas or, say, one of the Birla groups. Now, I mean, these are legitimate questions which you can talk about within business models. But I think the larger question, which I think needs to be taken, that for the first time in India, after a very, very long period, or if ever, entrepreneurship is not regarded as a dirty word. It's not regarded as a swear word. It is not any longer treated as a pejorative thing. And entrepreneurship is something which is promoted for everybody, to build up Indian companies, to build up Indian brands, to build up this Make in India, to allow for capacity building in India. Within that, I think these are seen as legitimate aspirations of India. So if you say that this is pro-business, yes, of course it's pro-business. But what's wrong with pro-business?
Many would say, in fact, many would say that...
I'm saying that you are, and the fact that today we don't have 97% taxation, we have much more modest taxation rates in this country, which has resulted in a less accrual of what is called the parallel economy. All these are realities.
Okay. So, many would say this is again a continuum. It's not as if... again, post 1991, it's not as if entrepreneurship was not being facilitated. It's been a gradual process.
You are saying that, of course, it's a continuum. Of course, everything in India is a continuum. The state in India is a continuum. The republic is a continuum.
Okay.
Everything is. But it requires an exercise of political will, determination, and focus to be able to get that thing moving in the right direction. I think for all the credit which can be given to Manmohan Singh and earlier, I think you will not deny that somewhere along the way, the UPA too lost focus. And it got mired in a lot of scandals which proved detrimental for delivery projects. And that some of the design of these were not quite sufficient. And you will also agree that under Modi, technology has been taken to another level and has been used for the benefit.